Kilo competition, European Championship. Randy Strossen from Our Mind alongside myself, David Goldstrom, and this is the lineup, and it's a really tight field here. Just 10 kilos separating all of these 9 lifters according to the entry totals which they put in and confirmed at the final entries meeting last Saturday evening. Let's meet the contenders, and you're looking at the European bronze medalist Hursit Atak from Turkey, one of 2 lifters who certainly have a chance to find a place on the medal podium. The first are 2 Romanians, the first are 2 brothers actually. Gennady Dudoglu, he's the older of the 2 Dudoglus involved here, 6th last year in the Europeans in Kazan. Here's Yuri, the younger, 2nd in the junior Europeans, and they've got another one, Alexandra Dudoglu, who's going to be in the men's 77 kilos a little later in the week. Dimitrios Minasidis represents Cyprus, 4th in the Europeans. This is a tune-up for his challenge in the Olympic Games in London. And now for the Romanians. Marius Gishkin, promising, 5th in Europe last year, 23 years of age. But the man who really has caught the eye is Florin Cretoru. This young man, 48 kilo, 2011 junior champion, moving up today and moving into the 62 kilo class. Vladimir Urumov from Bulgaria, 3rd in 2008, but now a 62 kilo lifter. And Bunyamin Cesar, here is the man who's looking to defend the title. He won in Tatarstan last year. And completing the field, Stoyan Enev of Bulgaria, 22 years of age, and he a silver medalist in the under-23 European Championships, which have been so successful since their introduction into the European program. So those are your contenders, and on paper at least this should be a real cracker. Now, before we get underway, here's a chance to see what happened a little earlier in the day in terms of the B group, which sets the standard and is represented here by this man from Italy. In the first half, the snatch half here, 115 kilos, got that the first time, missed this 122nd time around, but got it at the 3rd time of asking. And by virtue of lighter body weight, led at the halfway stage in the B group. Onto the clean and jerk, and in the clean and jerk, a really good second half competition. This in the competition that was a little earlier today. Kemal Kasamaka representing France, 147, 152 kilos on the bar for Kemal. Ultimately to earn him a total of 272, which was good enough to win him the B group competition. But just to put this in perspective as you watch this 2-phase effort, onto the clean, and then the chuck overhead. Pretty well done. His total of 272, well, I can tell you that the lowest total entered by the 9 contenders in the medal final this evening is 290. So although he's done quite well, Kemal shouldn't really trouble the men you're about to see. So sit back and enjoy the action. Here you can see some of the past champions. Bilgin for Turkey. Turkey have had a pretty good run recently. Petrosian of Russia. Zhigao of Romania, Halil Mutlu, who's been in the commentary position alongside our Turkish colleague, Pashalov of Croatia, of course, reigned supreme in the Sydney Olympics, and there those Bulgarians in 1998 when these weight categories were first established. So the Kepesh Sport Hall, just about 15 minutes from the centre of Antalya, on what has been a rather windy, wet day with a bit of thunder and lightning as well. So, men 62 kilos, Randy, this one should be one to relish.
Yeah, it should be nice and close. Weights maybe won't be at the highest world standard, but that's going to take nothing off as far as the edge. for how close the competition will be. You mentioned the weather, lightning and thunder. This is weightlifting. We're starting to snatch. That's the lightning. We're going to see some really fast lifting. Later we're going to see the thunder, the big two-part lift, the clean and jerk, where the final positions will be settled.
So competition about to get underway. And it's Marius Giscan, the first of two Romanians. And you'll probably catch sight at some point of Nicu Vlad, who narrowly lost out on his challenge to become European president. That was Antonio Urso, who succeeded for a second consecutive term. But the Romanians with a good squad of youngsters. Now, Giscan, who actually last year won the clean and jerk gold medal in Kazan. So arguably this is the weaker of his two disciplines. 20 seconds. And that's a good start. Got to be happy with that, Randy?
Absolutely. We said lightning. Snatch is very quick lift. You'll see he just sticks this. Notice that at the finish, as if he's stretching the bar, and that's what you'll hear coaches yelling sometimes to remind the athlete what to do. Of course, what they really need to do is straighten the arms out, but if you think stretch the bar at the top and puts things in the right position, keep that idea in mind as you're watching lifters tonight.
Just to remind you, Guanaccia of Italy, 120 kilos in that B group competition earlier, so that's where they've got to get to before we see a change in the overall order. Bar going up to 118 kilos now for Stoyan Enev, a 22-year-old Bulgarian. If you were with us yesterday and today, we've been talking a little bit about the, well, I suppose, rejuvenation or reorganization of the whole Bulgarians after scandal, finally trying to settle down and rebuild and lay new foundations to put them back on the map. And there you can see there Stoyan just indicating his elbows that he's got an odd arm lock to the judges, so they should take note of that. 118 kilos to get him underway. The European under-23 silver medalist of last season. Well, that's what you don't want.
Right. You know, you explained what that gesture meant. He was indicating that his arms don't really lock out, that it's an anatomical thing, that they do not go fully straight. Watch this left arm. And he never really gets under the bar to start off with, but the arm never did get straight. Should be reversing directions, locking out there. I don't think, frankly, he's got quite enough elevation on the bar there.
Just to give you an idea of some of the opening weights, Rushid Atak for Turkey, 130 for his first snatch attempt, and he's posted 160 for his first clean and jerk. So just in sheer numbers, he's entered a total of 295, which, along with Dimitrios Minasidis of Cyprus, would be the top two totals. But just having a word with Christou Christou, the new president who's taken over the Cyprus Weightlifting Federation, he said, we're not going to go crackers. If we can get a medal, fine, but actually, in real terms, we've got to keep London as the long-term goal. So Stoyan's got to come out and follow himself. So 2 minutes, he's used a minute of that. Now onto the stage again.
Not something we're used to seeing, Bulgaria struggling to get a lift on the board this early in a class.
Well, needless to say, he's accomplished this weight plenty of times before. So you have 6 lives, he's just used up one of them and got nothing for it. Takes the bar back just a little bit, maybe thinking about needing a step or two forward. And The look on the coach's face will tell you, why on earth did you not do that the first time?
Yeah, at least he bounced right back. Left arm really didn't look problematic to me there at all. Squeezes the bar off the platform's going to explode right there, finishing the pull. You can see how quickly he reverses direction, even in slow motion. It's apparent how fast he is going back down under the bar to catch it on stretched out arms.
So just an extra kilo being added on the bar, but I'm sure that's going to change in a moment. And yeah, they're going to change. Two Moldavians involved here, Gennady Dudoglu, Yuri Dudoglu. And it's Gennady the elder. 285 kilos his entered total. So between these two, Gennady, who was in Paris, 15th place in the World Championships, and actually their 127 kilos contributed in this first discipline towards a total of 277. 120 kilos on the bar, weighed in at 61.54. So if he gets this, he goes past the man who led in the B group into the lead early days, though. A little ripple of applause.
Boy, watch how low his bottom position is on this lift. See, maybe in slow motion, his hips come within just maybe a couple inches or so of the platform. That's great. You know, it's a great advantage mechanically if you can get really low like that.
But also, I mean, very well executed, got the bar absolutely millimeter perfect, which is what is required in this lift. And the bar at the moment on 120 kilos for Marius Giscan, the first of the two Romanians. This, of course, is his second attempt. Now, Giscan, 61.83. Now, he's heavier than the Italian in the B group, so this would only take him up into third place at the moment.
Easy opener, 5 kilo increase, which is big these days.
Coming down to 10 seconds.
Yeah, there, you know, now they're going to say, well, just because that looks so easy on the opener, maybe we shouldn't have gone to 5 plus 5, or maybe you know, we should have just told me you got to really go for this. Okay, watch this, nice pull, but he does not quite get himself under that bar.
What I was going to say, watching that, Randy, was I just sensed uncertainty in it. It wasn't, you know, if you have just that fraction of uncertainty, you don't commit.
Prior to the 1 kilo rule, a 5 kilo increase would have been standard, if not small. But now people think in terms of such baby steps, you know, 2 kilos or whatever. And a hazard of training that way is it might weigh very heavily in his brain. 5 kilos, oh gosh, you know, can I do it? You know, instead of, oh, big deal, you know, 5 kilos, wouldn't even feel it, you know.
Warm-up room in which these boys have been in for just about 45 minutes before the competition started, just to begin to go through a very well-established routine, starting sometimes just with the bar itself, right, just to get the flexibility moving, and then to build up the weight towards that opening weight. And that, of course, is taking energy, it's taking effort before they even come out for the first attempt.
Right. Although they'll be following a routine that's quite similar to what they're doing as far as their standard workouts. But I think where there's a lot greater energy loss here is the pressure, knowing this is a competition. In fact, this is a Continental Championships, and it's not just that. It's the last chance before London.
So Giscan, 120. As Randy said, this is 5 kilos up from that very straightforward first attempt.
He just stuck that. Everything he didn't do in the second attempt, he did on that one.
Yeah, again, 120. That's a kilo better than last year.
Shoulders well in front of the bar, just what you'd want. Separating it, second pull. Look at that, great lift.
So here comes NF, just a back reference to the last man, of course. He won that clean and jerk gold, so it'll be interesting to see. He'll be much more comfortable in the clean and jerk, the Romanian who's just left the stage and vacated it for this man, NF. Now, a wasted life, repaired the damage, was 118, now 4 kilos up to 122. Only 22 years of age, so this for a new personal record by 2 kilos. Nice and steady in the bottom position there before the drive up.
Yeah, you could see why he would point out that arm. You're going to see it didn't really unlock, but you can see that it could fool a referee, and wise of him to point to it ahead of time. Nice lift, though. Look at this.
Yeah, so he's actually got better.
Yeah. Yeah, he needed one more warm-up, I guess is the way to look at it, right before he'd come out.
Now, you've already met Gennady Dudoglu. Say hello to younger brother Yuri Dudoglu. There's 5 years between the two boys, and the younger brother opening up on 123 kilos. Landmark for him last year, junior European silver medalist. Very nice, and that's just a kilo less than he achieved in those junior Europeans. So I think there's a bit more to come from him.
Yeah. This really shows what an opener should look like. It is a lift that he's done a lot of times. Almost could have been something that had been one more warm-up. No hesitation about this. Just knock this thing off. It's what he does.
Yeah, really explosive speed, fast twitch fibers.
Yeah, and you can feel the confidence. It's like no big deal. You know, give me an empty bar, give me this weight. Either way, I'm going to lift it.
Well, there's a few countries that are double-handed: Moldavia, Romania, and Bulgaria. And here's Urumov for Bulgaria. Haven't seen him for a couple of seasons on the European stage. He was top 10 in Belarus in 2010. So go back a few years, 4 in fact, and he was the bronze medalist in the 56 kilo class in the European Championship. So clearly now, a few years on, 62 kilos, much more to his liking. You just sort of sense battle hasn't really been joined yet.
No, the first half of each class is really just laying the groundwork. It's kind of setting a stage for the big guns that come rolling out later.
Yes,
Uplifters haven't started yet.
It's that platform which you build for yourself from which you can attack in the second half when the big weights really come on. So now back to Gennady Dudoglu. Lifted here a couple of years ago when the World Championships came to Antalya, but not in this sports hall, in a big exhibition center. This is much more atmospheric and compact.
Interesting. I mean, his hips were so high when he started that lift. You really wondered where it was going to go, and the answer is not very far. I mean, he's pulling with his back. I mean, not horizontal, but fairly close to it. Psyched out, you know, snatch weights aren't really so heavy that it's a physical thing at that part of the lift. It's more a mental thing, psychologically. You think, I don't know, maybe I can't do this here tonight. And the switch just went from on to off, and you see the result, no lift.
Well, it looks like he's going to follow himself. Looking at the Turkish contenders, Khurshid Atak, 126. That's interesting. He's come down a little from 130. Dimitris Minasidis, he planned 125, well, 123. He's gone up to 125, so clearly things going well in his. And the Romanian, Florin Critoru, who posted 125 as his opener, has gone up to 130. And Bunyamin Cesar is on 135, which is where he intended to start. So already the little chess game beginning to unfold there, but amongst the coaches. But it's based on how that warm-up is going. Well, the second one was such a mess, really. I think that determined the outcome of the third one.
Yeah, you know, although, once again, it's just the way I guess he pulls, hips are really high. Okay, he misses it, but you see here what people mean when they describe this lift as a matter of jumping up and jumping down. Jumps up, pulling the bar, and then jump down reverse directions, but he didn't connect, which is the third element.
The other thing, Randy, which, you know, people, you know, sometimes forget is no matter what the weight is that's on the bar, that, you know, you have to commit. You've got to have the courage to actually get under the bar.
Absolutely. You know, as we've talked about, you don't have a large margin for error on the snatch. There's a very narrow little space in terms of balancing things so that bar will stay overhead, and you're rather precarious in that full squat position with the weight over.
I think it's interesting if you know, do a little sports comparison. You know, if you talk track and field or something like that, running around a track or doing a long jump or something like that. Yes, you could get injured in that way, but it's the courage that it takes to actually get under the bar. Now, this is interesting because Atak for Turkey on the stage now, and was 125 on the bar, and the technical controller, that's Carl.
Yeah, it's Carl Rimbach.
Carl Rimbach, who's in there. He's not happy that this is the right order of events. And
yeah, because that's the Cypriot.
Well, that's the Cypriot coach there, who's in the corner. That's Ananias, who's at the moment, well, he's got Dimitris Minasidis as his
right. That's the lifter who was on the platform. The thing is, we've got Atak's name on the board, and we've got the TC approaching the jury.
Yeah.
Conversation between the technical controller.
I think this could be all about the fact that Atak has been bringing down his opening total all the time.
Okay.
And I think that's where this confusion has, you know, come in.
Here's the conversation between the technical controller and the jury.
Per Mattingstad in the center there in the blue shirt. He's the president of the jury from Norway.
Carl's wife?
Yeah, Katarina on the jury as well.
Is that legal? It's convenient, probably.
Actually, the pair of them are great servants to weightlifting.
Oh, yeah,
they give up an awful lot of time, for which none of them, of course, are rewarded financially. It's just their own love and passion of the sport. So we're just waiting for the board to get sorted out here. Now, at the moment, it's still Atak who's being identified on the attempt board.
Yeah, probably wondering why they didn't let him go ahead the first time he was in that position.
But it's clear that they want Minasidis to go. Well, they've timed him out.
Yeah, they did.
They've timed the Turk out.
Yeah.
And I think it's all about that coming down in weight, but we'll get to that in a moment.
Yeah, and you know, your line about the 6 lives, what a way to squander one of them. Don't even take a crack at lifting it.
Yeah, particularly when you're in Turkey on a Turkish stage. Unusual for the Turkish coaching team to make that sort of error. Now, Minasidis Might have seen this man lifting in the Commonwealth Games in Delhi. Didn't do terribly well there.
Whoa. He's fast.
Little Pyrrhus Demos look at the end there. Imitation.
Yeah, well, that part's the easy part to imitate as far as Pyrrhus Demos goes. But, you know, we talked about lightning. Okay, watch this guy move under the bar, even in slow motion. Look at that.
They had the under-23 championships a couple of years ago in Limassol, and he got a bronze medal there. He doesn't actually live in Limassol. He lives in Paphos, which is a rather nice holiday center out on the western side of Cyprus. And like so many of these boys, really, it's a full-time occupation. Now, this is something we didn't see before.
And it's the reason why.
Yeah.
Okay, he looks like he's injured. This looks serious. This is why they had to let that attempt go. He's on the board now again. The second time, clearly he's not coming out for this lift. It's being attended to.
Yeah, it's just a pity that we didn't see the cause for whatever has happened to him. That's really bad luck. I'm just hoping that it's not as horrible as it looks.
Well, it shows the reality of your comment earlier. Risk is a real thing here, and this fear is based on that physical catastrophe that can befall you. It's not an imaginary thing. These are heavy weights. You can get hurt lifting them.
So Yuri Dodoglu, 123. This is 126. Has one more go at it.
Not quite wedged in under that bar. In slow motion, maybe we'll be able to see how he gets squeezed out backwards in the bottom position. Gets under, not quite, and squeezed out backwards, no lift.
Both of the Moldovan boys coming from Chisinau, the capital of Moldova. And the Moldovans who have got a pretty good squad, I have to say. In the medal table, they're sitting at the top at the moment. 3 golds, 2 silvers and a bronze as a result of their early efforts. Now this looks, the bar's on 126. They put it up there for attack, but I can't see this happening.
They've got him on his feet though. Are they going to send him out? There's Dr. Michael Irani, so we've got serious medical people watching. That's Dr. Irani's arm on the left.
Oh, I can't see this.
Look at this. Yeah. Prop him up, go out there.
Yeah.
I don't think he's lifting, guys.
No, I mean they're basically holding him up.
Yeah, looks like a rag doll, doesn't he?
You know, it may be one of those situations where he wants to give it a go, and common sense will be enforced on him.
Yeah, but down with you. I mean, it really looks to me as if they're supporting him.
Yeah.
Although I have seen a lifter injured so badly he hopped up the steps to get to the platform to try, but he never actually lifted them. Well, okay, so timed out on his second attempt. He's being called now for his third. I wonder why they don't just pull him out, you know, rather than running the clock down.
European bronze medalist last year. Is it worth it? I mean, that's the real thing. You know, is it really worth taking this risk?
Well, I don't think he's coming out.
You know.
Well, she'll prove me wrong now. Minute 42, he's coming out. Maybe.
Head or heart?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, head says don't do this.
Yeah.
And of course he's going to come out, he's going to lift it and prove us all wrong.
Right, there you go. Good for the fans, come on.
No, you know, it's got a minute and 15 seconds.
Yeah, I wonder if it was some groin thing and he tried to stretch it out. He's trying to see if he can hit a bottom position. He's hobbling. He doesn't have to walk out there, just needs to be able to lift the weight, straighten his legs out, and then bend them and stand up again. Well, he's getting, well under a minute. Okay, he's either saying I'm going out or I'm not, and it's a yes, I'm coming out.
Well, it is interesting, because when he got that bronze medal last year, the contribution towards it was 128 kilos. So, 126, this is a hotter class, but it's not bad if he can pick this up.
I say he only deadlifts it. What do you bet? You think he's going to really go for it? I mean, let alone make it? I say only deadlifts it. And he'll prove me wrong, he'll make the lift.
But if he wants it, it's definitely mind over matter.
He's looking determined.
8 seconds.
Well, he did a pull, so I say just a deadlift.
Yeah, I think he needs a helping hand. And there's Dr. Hasan Akush, the president of the Turkish Weightlifting Federation, you just saw there momentarily. And he'll be concerned. I just think this was foolish. I think somebody needed to make the decision for him. And this is where I get really confused about coach's role. There are times when the coach has to step in and say, not today.
I have this word showboating kind of floating around between my ears too.
Yeah. Urumov, back to business, bar on 127 kilos. This would take him into the lead. Minasidis, after all of that particular excursion, still has the advantage from Yuri Dodoglu on 123.
I was ready to say really nice to see a good lift, after what we just went through. And what we're seeing here is a little bit of overreaction, overcompensation, starting to lose the lift in one direction, adjusting, trying to save it. And
then that bar.
He did not quite get the formula right for where the body had to be relative to the bar, not for lack of trying.
Got one more go.
Yeah. We've been doing really well in terms of successful lifts, and all of a sudden now the tide's turned a little bit. We've got a lot of red up there right now.
Just trying to see here what this, that's a pity, just couldn't really tell what the injury is. I don't know whether they're going to try and patch him up for the clean and jerk.
Oh, you're cruel.
Well, let's have a look at this. Now.
Well, it must be legal.
So suddenly we've gone down to a snail's pace here.
Yeah.
Momentum is a lot in a competition, isn't it? Also, once you start to get going, and we haven't really got going in this. We sat here saying 10 kilos between the field. Certainly, Rushidatak haven't been taken out of the competition effectively. Well, certainly in terms of the overall competition, we've just lost a bit of momentum here. Well, the only thing I would say is that there are quite a few contenders out there who haven't even started. Croitoru of Romania and Cesar, the other Turkish lifter. So things may get going in a moment. But
right, how that affects them, though, as you talked about the warm-up, this affects their timing because they didn't anticipate this. In terms of timing their warm-ups.
We've had about a sort of 5-minute loss.
Oh, yeah.
Now, half a minute.
Well, that was a cleaner miss, if you will, because it was just unidirectional. It was just up and over. It wasn't back and forth. Swung it a little bit, got a little eager maybe to get that second pull going right there, bangs it right at his hips and starts that arc, which puts the bar over his head.
Right, the bar going to 128 kilos. This is for Florin Croitoru of Romania. This is 3 kilos up on his original posted opening weight. He's a member of the Rapid Bucharest club, same club that the great Nicu Vlad lifted for in his heyday. Coached by Peter Becchiero, remember him? 84, Los Angeles, Olympic champion at 82.5 kilos. He's in charge of this man. This man is only 18, and he started off by going straight into the lead.
Nice lift.
Kraitoru, the youngest of the contenders today, not only the bronze medalist last year at 48 kilos, but the junior European champion. No, not 48 kilos, what am I talking about? 56, I mean.
Excuse me, we were talking about adjustments, trying to save a lift, and you could see in that attempt, no need to adjust anything. He put the bar where it needed, and he put his body where it needed. Hope he's going to change the direction here that we've been going in.
So Yuri Dodoglu here, because he failed last time, 5 kilo increase effectively now to 128. So effectively stays where he is at the moment in third place. Remember, Bunyamin Cesar, defending champion, not yet out on the platform. And Minasidis getting ready in the wings.
Yeah, he had a really strong opener.
Far too much red on the scoreboard for my liking.
Yeah, now all of a sudden things just changed, and we're kind of adrift in the Red Sea right now, but hopefully we'll get back to land here. And this is a good guy to do it. He really had some smoke on that opener.
Yeah, and a really good opportunity, whilst all around him are falling apart.
Yep.
That opportunity to get a medal for Cyprus, which will be, you know, something, a real confidence boost going into the London Olympics to get a European medal. That would be really good, and he has an opportunity now. This is one of those situations where if you lift 6 out of 6, you really can profit. So, fast and clean, that's what we're looking for. Just what was required, just what was delivered.
Yeah, you know, talk about speed. You can see a little bit of that speed twitch kind of thing going on with him before he even starts his lift. Pumping a little bit in short movements. There you go, a little twitch, boom. Hits that switch, hits a very low bottom position. Here he goes, imitation Pyrrhus Dimas. Well, maybe when you win 3 Olympic gold medals, we'll quit saying imitation Pyrrhus Dimas. Nice lift.
Indeed, bar going up a kilo. Just to put this in perspective as to where we are. European senior record, 150 kilos, Nikolai Pashalov. That was a little way back.
Yeah.
And the world record, 153 in the snatch in the world record rankings. Shi Jiong of China. And this is 131. But this is a man who may one day get up there or pretty close to those sort of numbers. And that's even better than the first one.
Yeah. Tall, another lifter's tall first class, which suggests down the road he'll be moving up to a heavier body weight class. He's off to a very nice, solid start here. Again, no adjustment fore and aft, just pulls the feet together. It means everything went where it was supposed to on that lift.
You were at the Los Angeles Games, weren't you?
No, it was not.
Did you not go in on the jetpack?
Did not.
I swear it was you.
Oh, no.
In that white suit with the helmet.
Yeah, right. You give me too much credit sometimes, David.
But yeah, his coach, well, you can't ask for a better coach, somebody who's actually won an Olympic title. Pyrrhus Dimas wandering around the warm-up room there, giving a helping hand to the Cypriot contingent, and they know that they might have something, you know, to win here, the way they're going at the moment. Cesar, defending champion, about to come out onto the stage at 135 kilos, so that's right on the money. That's where he wanted to be. Weighed in at 61.88, which is at the top end of the weight scale. say. Bunyamin, 23 years of age. 9th in the world in Paris, but a good European champion, totaled up 298 last year. He's aiming to be in that sort of region again. 295 was actually his entered total. And opening up on 135 here. So this would be a clear lead. Give him a 4 kilo advantage. And that's just the start they wanted, and the Turkish fans really pleased with that opener.
Boy, you know, crowd was waiting for that, especially after the misfortune suffered by his teammate. Look how close his grip is on the snatch. Shows he's got a lot of flexibility. A lot of shoulder flexibility, nice lift.
Well, battle really joined now. We've got 3 men really vying for supremacy as we come towards the end of the first discipline. Bunyamin Cesar, you've just seen him take the lead. He's got a 4 kilo advantage over Florin Croitoru of Romania and a 5 kilo advantage over Minasidis. But it's Croitoru to come out now. Now Croitoru lighter than Cesar, so if he takes this 135, then he will go into the lead. But this is his 3rd attempt. The Turkish defending champion still has 2 to go. 4 remaining lifts in this half of the competition. Well, he didn't really get the height on the bar there. It was left in front.
Yeah, you know, that was a miss he didn't want, and all of a sudden that was a change in the flow of his game. You know, we had seen him come out looking really good, and was a little bit, body was a little bit behind the bar on that.
Just worth considering, you know, he is moving up a weight category, so, you know, that's another thing he has to deal with. But Minasidis now going for 136. Now, this by a kilo would put him into the lead. This, his last attempt, weighed in at 61.73. He's currently in the bronze medal position, but he is 5 kilos behind. If he goes from 5 kilos behind to 1 kilo ahead, that would set him in a pretty decent position for the second half of the competition. So this for the lead. Definitely got a medal in the first half of the competition. But it's going to have to be a bronze medal, I'm afraid. Minasidis settles for the bronze medal, but more relevantly, Randy, he's 5 kilos behind Cesar. If he'd made this, he would have had a 1 kilo advantage momentarily.
It's kind of interesting because now all of a sudden, with just the increase of a couple kilos, we're seeing it shake down the guys who cannot quite get the weights at this level.
Of course, there is a tendency for Cesar to be better in this first half than he is in the second part. So onto the stage, 139 kilos. So this is a 4 kilo increase for the defending champion, and this is the sort of advantage he's looking to build over his opposition, because there are 1 or 2 of them that could come back to him in the clean and jerk, but he's building what he hopes to be will be an unassailable advantage. Second attempt, still has 1 more after this. Job done. Well, there you go, Randy. Building, as I said a moment ago, an unassailable advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we're at the weight range where we separated the men from the boys. He just sticks this, and you know what? That roar at the end is like, come on, you want to get me? Come.
But all the time, remembering, he did 140 last year, did 141 in the Worlds, but when it comes to the clean and jerk, only did 153 in Paris, only did 158 in the Europeans. Actually, you know, that's potentially where they can come back. However, what he's doing now, just for a moment, they put the bar to 140, but he's going to go for more than that.
Yeah, I mean, to put that in perspective, you know, he's opening at 155 at this point in the clean and jerk. The world record in the snatch is 153. It's a very small differential between the snatch and clean and jerk. Clearly, he's going for what he's good at, supremacy in the snatch here.
Well, yeah, I mean, if he goes for 142, he'd have a 10-kilo advantage. He has got this heavy body weight as well, but 10 kilos is a heck of a good advantage to take into the second part.
With the gold medal in your pocket already, too.
Yeah, I don't think he's so much worried about that.
No, but he's got the gold medal at this point in the snatch.
Yeah, but these boys want the championship. It's a bit like the Olympic Games.
Yep.
You know, at their level, they're not thinking about the discipline medals. They're thinking about the overall championship. You know, Turkey,
it's gone up to 141 now.
Looking to get their first championship here. I know it's only day 2, but it's in these lighter weights that the Turkish lifters tend to prosper. As we get heavier during the week, they become less effective. So the bar is going to 142. I thought it might. So actually, that is an 11-kilo advantage if he gets it. And it'll be a new personal best as well. But on the evidence of what we've seen, 142 seems perfectly reasonable. So for 3 out of 3, and the boys just making sure that bar is correct and centered. He's got 1 minute and 32 seconds because he's the only man left in the competition. Chalks up. Still has to do the work, and in terms of the competition itself, on a competition stage, we haven't seen him lift 142 kilos. Locks on. And settles. Well, there's a man who's on fire. 3 out of 3, new personal record. Turkish fans love it, and he really has given himself one heck of a chance in terms of defending his title as we come through to the halfway stage. And this man is the dominant force at 62 kilos at European level, well, this season at the moment.
Yeah, you know, some consolation, I think, for the Turks, losing his teammate right away in this competition. Dominating performance in the snatch, though.
If you're wondering what that little plastic hole is in the stage there, this is a platform that's going to be used at the London Olympic Games, and when it moves to London, they're going to put a camera in there. Not everybody's favorite view, but that's a little hole, a little trapdoor for the camera.
I've been counting how many lifters look at that.
So there you can see it, 3 out of 3, commanding advantage, 11 kilos. The promising Romanian in the silver medal position. The Cypriot takes the snatch bronze, and then the first of the Judoglu's there for Moldova. Only 1, and he's now sort of 7 kilos off the bronze medal. There's Tom Gugaba, former European champion, lifting these days at 62 kilos. He's hoping to get an Olympic place, but it'll be at 56. But when I talked to him about it, he said, I can't starve all the time.